Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the E-commerce Performance Marketing Show. Hey, how's it going, guys? Josh Marsden here, host of the E-com Performance Marketing Show. And I've got another incredible guest for you today. I've got Jeff Hunter from Savage Marketer, and he truly is savage when it comes to marketing and the results he gets for his clients through content marketing. And content is so key today, especially if you're using digital advertising, but altogether content is key because it's a part of the customer value journey. It's part of the prospect to customer journey that your business should have. So if you don't have a good content strategy, this episode is going to be incredible for you. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, man. I'd love just to kind of get started by you telling the audience about your story, how you got started. You know, it's always like a good way to kick things off.
Wow. Well, I'm a corporate dropout. I left the corporate world. I was a Fortune 500 project manager, did that for several years, always in IT, always loved IT. Definitely had no experience in marketing or sales until I hit the entrepreneurial world and found out that I had a reality, kind of a harsh reality of landing on my feet and saying, oh my gosh, how do I start this business? What do I do? Getting sales was always an issue. And then I started realizing something really quickly, which is the power of storytelling and how you could actually leverage the power of storytelling to help build your brand. And of course, everyone who's watching this probably knows you because you wrote the book on Facebook ads. You know, I got my picture holding your book, right? So, but a lot of people don't understand that there's a content marketing play that also goes really well along with your scalability on the ads, which Absolutely. Is people have to know your story. What is your why?
Yeah. Right.
True. And I know that that's a really super played out, know your why, Simon Sinek and blah, blah, blah. but it's more about the storytelling. I actually was just inside a group yesterday called Blue Collar Secrets, which is another one of my clients named Jim Yeti. And I was teaching a lesson to his group yesterday about how to use storytelling as a contractor, as a painter, right? I mean, it goes for every single business that you could imagine, whether it's an e-com brand or it's a service-based business or you're or a story about your kids or whatever it is. People really relate to stories. Stories have been used since the beginning of time, when men were still just writing stuff on walls in caves. These are stories that have been passed down and passed down and passed down. And it's the fastest way to build trust with your audience, to build a deep emotional connection with your audience, which is really important. And of course, it makes people actually feel very comfortable buying the story of the brand. And actually, definitely, you and I have a mutual acquaintance, Ryan McKinsey, and some other people in the e-com world that are leveraging really strong stories to sell their e-com brands. And that's what I'd like to share with you guys today.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, story is absolutely just impactful when it comes to your marketing. It's relatable. People need that to relate to the brand because people buy from people. People don't buy from brands. And so it's super important that as, the owner, especially of a small e-com business, trying to compete with some of the bigger brands out there, that you position yourself as an approachable brand, as a personable brand, and story is huge for that.
That's it. One of the great kind of examples of that too is, we'll just use, because we already know this guy, but True Earth, which is an incredible brand, and Ryan McKinsey, who is a mutual friend of ours, they have a really strong story brand. And I think their brand story is so important because they have a terrible That's funny because the word terrible, I guess that's probably not the best way to say it, but it's a tear off style dry laundry detergent.
Yeah.
It's completely biodegradable. The packaging is, zero waste. So it's just it's paper. And he also has an upsell for these little tins, these little metal tin containers that you can put in your laundry detergent. And what I really like about this brand and the story about the brand is that it's saving the environment from, having those plastic jugs, right? And the waste that comes from all that stuff. So not only do they get to sell their detergent, which they're doing really well, but it's above the detergent. It's about the mission. It's about the statement and the purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that all the successful e-com brands, if you look and see, especially if they're a small e-com brand that's really starting to blow up, they've really got a strong mission, a strong purpose. I think both of us know Cody Neer.
Yep.
Cody Neer, who, he has Bucks of America, which is one of his brands, where it's all about hunting and Second Amendment rights and things like that. And so a lot of his the apparel and stuff that he sells has to do with that type of movement and culture. So I think that it's really important to have a strong movement and a culture and a story behind your e-com brand.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree, man. So in your work with e-com, clients, do you help them craft their story? Like what are some of your strategies and processes there? Because I think that the audience, would love to hear that, because that's just going to be something that they can take and they can use. I mean, they're learning from one of the best, in you. So, I mean, I'd love to give you the opportunity to kind of share some of the strategies and processes you go through with some of your clients to help them, create that.
Yeah. So there's a couple different steps to achieving this. The very first step is just understanding your audience. It always starts with understanding your audience, because the more that you understand your audience, the more that you can help the audience feel like you understand them. See, a lot of people think, oh, well, man, people would buy my product if I could just help them explain it. If I could just explain it to them a little bit better, if I could really help them understand it. That's actually not the way that it works. People buy your product when they feel like you understand them.
Right. Yeah,
so
true.
Flip that around, right? You want people to feel like, wow, this person really understands me. This product is really made for me. That is when you start making huge wins. And that's what's really important. So let's just use, for example, the laundry detergent we were talking about, the dry laundry detergent. That's not a liquid. It doesn't come in a plastic container or jug. The people that are going to buy this type of laundry detergent, these are eco-friendly, conscious people, right? Mm-hmm. These people care about the environment. These people probably care immensely about the impact that they have, and people buy things because it makes them feel good. And it's also, what I love about this brand is that it's not only does it make them feel good, but it's also giving them the ability to share it with other people, to kind of almost value signal, right? To be like, look at the impact that I'm doing in this world for good. And so the first part is really understanding your audience. What is it that makes them tick? Why should they buy your stuff? Why should it really connect with them? And then secondly is actually crafting out what that story looks like. And it comes with 3 different ways. So the first is really understanding, like, what is your core mission, right? What is the core mission of the product or the brand? What is it actually about? Because now that we know that we have a eco-friendly, socially conscious, type buyer, right? And it really depends on per product or per brand, what it is that people are going for. But I'm assuming that everyone who at least follows you and is building up their business, their e-com business, they know it's how important it is to niche down, right?
Yep. Totally.
How important it is to really serve a specific group of people, a type of people. So once you have that understanding of what it is that you're working on, what it is that, that they really, what that motivating factor is behind why they would purchase something from you. And then you start understanding some of the pain points, right? What are the pain points? Why are some reasons why people should buy from you? What are they going to miss out on if they don't buy from you? What's the impact of the world without them? So for example, let's say a Second Amendment, so you're selling hunting and things like that. That's another example. So now we're looking at a completely different niche of people that are, pro Second Amendment, and they're all about freedom and liberty and guns and Trump or something, right? Like you gotta think about what are all these different things that would be in alignment with what these people want. Because I think the real winners, the people that are really winning in e-com using their stories, they really understand their audience really well. They know the type of things that they want because they're able to cross-sell. You're able to upsell and market more stuff to them because you know the story of them, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
do you
the
have
third piece,
research processes that you go into to figure that out, for clients?
Absolutely. And with that, what? Maybe I'll give everyone a copy of a little some slides that I've got about understanding the target audience and really understanding the pain points and working through that. But one of the things that I teach with my clients and my students is that once you get into the hearts and the souls of people, you understand what it is that they actually want in life and what they're trying to accomplish. How can your products align with how they actually feel about life? People have their own unique view of life, and the more that you can get in alignment with what they're searching for with your products, it's all in. One of my clients right now, they're an all organic honey company. They just sell everything organic.
I love honey.
I love honey too. So, and I've always had bad allergies. So for me, having local honey and things like that's always been important for me to help, build up my immune system for that.
Yeah, nice, man.
But one of the things they're able to do is they're looking at, okay, well, they're actually marketing themselves as a superfoods company, which is smart. Because now not only are they doing everything honey, but they're doing lip gloss, honey lip gloss. They're doing CBD infused honey now. They're doing all sorts of things that they have taken it to the extreme of finding all the different things that people would use honey for. And they have just verticals all over the place, from lip balm to CBDs to, natural honey and, everything you could possibly imagine. But it really has that niche, right? The niche is that it's in the honey. And the story behind it is that it's a superfood. It's a superfood. It's something that has really a lot of great benefits to your body. It has benefits to your allergies and allergens, and of course it's all natural. And so it's just about painting that story and making sure that people feel that it's in alignment with what they're trying to do. So it doesn't really, I've already showed 3 different ways of there's the laundry detergent, there's the pro Second Amendment type store. Now there's the superfoods. So it doesn't really matter what your product is, what your e-com store is about. What matters is it in alignment, and can you make sure that it's a consistent journey? Like you said, the customer value journey, is that really a consistent flow across the whole board of the journey? So this gets
so important to have that.
Yeah, and this gets into the fun part, okay? So the fun part here is the story behind all of it, and how you actually write the story. So what I'm going to do, and this is hopefully if I can embark anything on people, if you just tuned in right now, and you just only listen from right now, this is the most valuable thing that you're going to learn on this show.
Yeah. There we go. Nice.
Okay.
The setup.
Which is how
Here
to
comes
tell
the
that
pitch.
story.
Okay.
How to tell that story. This is this is where a lot of people mess up. Okay. So I have a process. It's called the CLEAR copywriting method, and it stands for 5 things. CLEAR stands for curiosity, leading in with value, drawing in with emotion, analyzing, and then causing people to react. That's what CLEAR stands for. So curiosity, leading them in, emotions, analyzing, and then reaction. And that's what this formula that I use to tell all stories works with. You asked me earlier, what's the trick? This is the trick.
Yeah.
You only have the attention spans are just so short today. They're just so freaking short. You only have a very few moments of time. I would say less than probably 2-3 seconds of people scrolling, probably less than that. People are just scrolling on Facebook today to grab their attention, whether it's a paid ad, whether it's an organic, whatever it is, a regular Facebook post or a video, whatever. You just have a shorter and shorter attention span. So what's really key is to make sure that you're able to pique people's curiosity right away. So one way to do that is to kind of make a bold statement or a shocking claim, right, in the very beginning. So we're going to use superfoods, for example. We're going to go back to honey, okay? You could start out by saying something that's a bold claim or a fact, like, honey can boost your immune system. People like, oh, that's cool. Okay. At least draw in their emotions. Or you could even do something even more crazy, like, you can start out with something that people might not expect. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, what is something that is commonly known in an industry that people assume is true that you can disprove? Okay.
Yeah.
So for example,
take a polarizing position.
There you go. Polarizing. Exactly. You can pick a polarizing position. So for example, let's go back to honey and let's just say that honey doesn't cure your allergies. Okay. And which, then people are going to say right away, like, hold on a second. I thought that it did. I thought that I was able to boost my immune system because of this honey. Hold on a second. Wait, everything that I've been told is a lie. So then the next thing you do is you lead them in with the value and say, well, you might have been told that honey is an immune system booster and that, if you have local honey, it will help you, develop a resistance to allergens in your area. But everything you've been told is a lie. Okay. So now people are like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then you say, I know what you're feeling right now. It probably sucks, but you've been told a lie. And then you're going to analyze it. So right now I've already piqued their curiosity. I led them in, showing them why they should keep reading the post. Okay. We're making them feel emotionally invested in the story, because at this point in time, they're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm about to learn something new right now, right? People like to learn things new. So now we're going to analyze, and we're going to say something about honey. And of course, I'm making all this up, right? This isn't true, or whatever. Okay. Or it might be, who knows?
It's just good examples that you're going over. And that's what the audience needs to get out of this is you're basically just giving examples of how to use your copywriting formula, for content, to be able to go through your process and applying it to this scenario. So
exactly. And on the analyzing piece, now this is where you're really starting to develop your authority, and you're starting to develop trust with your audience by giving them stats, like some facts and things like that. So you'd say, here's the truth about honey. The truth is it has a low whatever, sugar count and this and that. And it also helps you with your antioxidants, and it does this. And of course, I'm making all this stuff up, but these are all things that you could do to analyze. And of course, you could go on and find things about honey. I'm just going to type honey facts in Google right now.
Cool. Yeah, no problem.
So we're going.
I'm seeing like how you can apply this towards like one of my brands that we're going to be scaling here in the next 30 days, because this specific product that I'm thinking of, it can take a very polarizing position. It can really capture people's attention, in the beginning of like a piece of content, because so it's football related. I can't say exactly what it is,
Okay.
But it's football related. And there's a lot of dangers that come out of teenagers playing football. Tackle football, they're still developing, obviously. They're getting hit by, guys 3 times bigger than them at times. And, that's terrible for like their neck, their spine, their posture, right? I could easily see like using your formula on like a video to tell like the story behind that product.
Wow.
And tying it into also like the owner who has a personal investment into the product because his son plays football. And that was one of the, catalysts essentially for him to create this product over the past 3 years, was because he wanted to protect his son, and he wanted to prevent his son from having those types of like injuries,
So I could already see how this would be applied to that, because you would basically start out by just saying football is a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
Right. You just say every year, hundreds of kids get injuries because of, the sport. And then you could say, it's really a shame, as a parent to, come home to think about, your son who might have, permanent injuries and concussions because just because of playing a game, right?
Yeah.
So now you're making these parents of students that are in football now second guess themselves, like, oh man, right? And because everyone's been worried about it. Every kid, every parent who's got a child who's in football thinks about that. Like, man, what if something happens?
Absolutely. Right.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart. So this is exactly how it could be, because I just went and I looked at this honey stuff over here, and I found this really cool website, and I just typed in honey facts and myths, and I can see right here that filtered honey is not as authentic as unfiltered honey. When you request raw unfiltered honey, you find some grains and foamy substance in the honey. And, like, here's different things like that. Here's something that's a myth about bees, is that it's suicide for a bee to sting. It's believed that when a bee stings an animal, it leaves behind its barb. While this isn't necessarily wrong, it's not true either, right? So there's all these different things here. Oh, honey never spoils if stored properly. This is a myth. Honey is medicinal. For hundreds of years, honey has been used medicinally due to its antibacterial properties. So these are things that you could use as like analyzing thing. And people used to bathe in honey, by the way. This is, I'm even for me looking at this going, oh my gosh, what is this?
Bathe in honey
is used for dental care. Dental care of all things.
Yeah. I thought
here's
it was
like built to your immune system.
It's natural sugar, but okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking here. It says honey is 80% sugar, 20% water.
Wow.
This is some interesting stuff. Like, honey isn't exclusive to bees. I didn't know that either. So anyway, you could put some of these cool stats out there about it, right? And the medicinal quality, and the advantages to the immune system, and how it provides energy without the hassle of caffeine. There's all sorts of different things here that shows how honey works. And then at the end, you can cause people to react. And this is what's really important, where people don't understand. But the most important thing you can do on social media is to get people to engage with your content, because that helps the algorithm. When Facebook sees that people are commenting on your stuff, and this goes for everything, by the way, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, engagement is key. Engagement, the level of engagement you get, it basically is telling the algorithm that, hey, this content is really good. People really like this stuff. Let's send it to more people. And what's cool about that is you don't have to pay. It's organic. You don't have to pay for that to get in front of there. And another thing that's really cool is you can look at the engagement rate and know if that's going to be a good Facebook ad or not. Right now, I've got this stupid video right now for coronavirus, and it has over 1,200 shares the last time that I saw it. I wonder if I can share my screen. Let's see.
That's huge engagement. And the nice thing about that too is that if you have a post that has that level of engagement, and you amplify it by, using it as an ad and then sponsoring it to the audience that you want to attract into your marketing funnel to buy your product. I mean, that works really, really well, So if you get that engagement, you should definitely put some money behind it, because then it's going to blow up. It has the potential to really blow up, and that's going to do massive, massive things for an e-commerce business.
I just stole this video. Okay, speaking of e-com, I stole this video from TikTok. I started using TikTok. It's been really fun. This video here, it's a short 10-second video. Watch this clip. Let me.
How much? How much? All right, I'll take one.
What?
Thank you.
Toilet paper? What?
Hey,
wow.
Is it... One roll. All right, thank you.
One roll. Look at this. It has 92,000 views, 2,300 shares, 600 likes, 221 comments.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
wow.
All it is a video that I stole from TikTok and reposted it because it was so funny. But I think it's perfectly relevant because it's really feeding on a couple of main factors that are relevant today. The coronavirus thing is getting crazy, blown up everywhere.
Yep.
If you haven't noticed, I mean, people are stocking up on toilet paper, and it's just a debacle. And it's super fresh in people's mind because, every time you turn on the news or whatever, they're talking about coronavirus again, right?
Yeah.
So this is a really interesting way. I mean, obviously I don't have a toilet paper company, but I could see how you could use something like this to leverage the coronavirus or whatever else to kind of make a humorous play on it. It's interesting because I actually had somebody, I was listening to somebody, tell me how making fun of these coronavirus things is racist and whatever else. And I'm just like, come on, man.
What?
How many coronavirus cases have we had in America and how many have actually died? Let's just be real, And then secondly, this is funny, it's true because the coronavirus, the point of the video says that coronavirus has drug dealers selling toilet paper now.
I know.
Right? Because it's so profitable, $10 a roll, right?
I know. I'd love to come up with something like that for either the agency or, even some of our e-com clients, in the mastermind or, on the agency side. Because something like that right now would be so relevant, That's your magic, though. That your magic is coming up with a video like that, and then getting that level of engagement because you created that video basically. I mean, you didn't make the video, but I
stole it,
use it.
But I knew that would do good in my audience.
Put a title, you put a title on top of it. that takes ingenuity though. And that there's a certain like mind for that. And you've got that.
Well, one of the things that I think is really important too, and this is a perfect way to close it down. We talked about piquing people's curiosity because the very first thing you saw on that was drug dealers now selling toilet paper. Well, now they're interested to see what that's about, right?
Yep.
The second piece of it is that we're leading them into what it is. So we talked about the superfood honey, stuff like that. We called out the facts. We drew it in. We talked about, then we analyzed, so remember we have curiosity, leading them in with value, why they should keep reading something, making them feel emotionally invested, and then analyzing something. And then at the very end is calling people to react, that call to react, not call to act, call to react. The number one thing, like I said, is we want to make people feel compelled to react and engage with the content. That's a really big important factor in Facebook's algorithm saying, hey, this is really good. It's basically like a popularity contest. Because
that's part of the scoring system. There's 3 scores. One of them is engagement.
Yeah,
when you're
exactly.
Running ads, and if you can get a strong engagement score, it's going to help.
It increases your relevancy, right? So your engagement is so key, because then it makes Facebook say, hey, look, this looks good. And it's the same thing on LinkedIn, by the way. On LinkedIn, Facebook, I really like LinkedIn right now. I think that LinkedIn is such a great platform that really not a lot of people are using, but it's a really great avenue to get your things out there. And it's kind of like wild west right now, because it's like Facebook was like 6 years ago. Remember, like when you used to, everyone used to see your content and your comments on other people's stuff, third-party network. Now, Facebook only the people that are in your immediate network see your content now. Yeah. But on LinkedIn, it's not that way. If you go and comment on somebody's post on LinkedIn, all of your friends see that you commented on that post too. Which is huge, right? So you have a lot more virality factor on LinkedIn. So the call to reaction, what you want to do is you want to do something that I like to call the hero. You want to make people feel like either you're the hero or they're the hero. And here's why. If you have a very specific stance about something, if you take a polarizing position, the people that are going to stand up with you and say, yes, you're right, Jeff, that's a great idea, or yes, Josh, you got it. Versus you want it to be strong enough on the other side that if people disagree with you, that they'll say, no, I don't agree with you at all. And for me, I don't care if people agree with me or not. What I care about is, did I compel them enough to tell me? Yeah. Okay. Did I make them agree or disagree with me? I just got done making a post just a few moments ago before this call. And I'll share another little story here. Oh, this is exactly the format right here. So let me zoom in. But this is the story that I just got done writing 47 minutes ago, right before this call. I probably hit the post button right before we got on this call together. But I say it's hard to scale a service business. Now, you guys definitely understand that, right? Yeah. Since my very first job, I've always been the original SaaS company, service as a service. Fortunately, I found very quickly that the only way to scale a service-based business is by scaling a team. Now, most of you know I've been building remote teams before remote teams were cool. Back in 2007, Tim Ferriss published The 4-Hour Workweek, which many of you have read. It sold the dream of sitting in I should have read that back, but sitting in a hammock between 2 palm trees while your team of virtual assistants ran your business for you. Of course, the book was selling a dream, not the reality. It took a lot of mistakes to build the team I have now. As a matter of fact, it's almost weekly I see someone in my network who's going to be the next king of outsourcing. It's an inspiring tale, and once I give someone a taste of freedom, it becomes addictive. I have also learned that most people don't have what it takes to build a virtual team. It takes a lot of work. Recruiting, hiring, training, managing, building, firing, dealing with client relationships, up-leveling, upskilling the team, promoting from within, dealing with drama, all part of the game.
Yep.
Over the past couple of weeks, I've been working with some of my best long-term clients to find out why they hired us instead of building their own teams. The recurring responses was simple: remove the hassle of hiring, eliminate the learning curve of training, and not dealing with the headaches of managing a team. Recently, we teamed up with Arnie Giske to provide a much-needed service to his people at Group Funnels who are leveraging Facebook groups to grow. This is, by the way, the whole purpose of the post now. Now that I've built the story, now that I've got people hooked in, now I want to tell them about a service that I'm launching. For $97 a month, you can have a dedicated virtual assistant manage your Facebook group, record membership data, yes, like email addresses, and welcome new members. No extra cost, no onboarding fee, exclusively for Group Funnel members. The kicker, it comes with a 3-part training video series: group approval strategy to turn your Facebook group into a list building machine, welcome post strategy to drive people to take action, and group rule strategy to create a loyal tribe of followers. If you're ready to use a Facebook group to build your community, grow your list, and get more sales, this is for you.
Nice.
So
that's a good deal.
And
too.
of course, look, there's Cody Neer.
I know.
He says you can't scale people. Scaling a team. That's the secret sauce.
Yep. Nice,
right?
Man.
So that's how you can use a story to promote whatever you're doing. And right now I've got 6 comments on there so far. And I've had it up for 45 minutes basically for the length of this call. Yep. And it's evergreen content. It's content that, the stories last forever. So whether you have a service-based business, if you're a marketing agency, whether you are selling a product or a service, or you have an e-com product and you want to tell a good story about it, this is why I really like the development of the content around the stories, because it really draws people in. It makes them real interested. If you're captivating somebody's, that was a long story, right? Yeah. Like that wasn't a short little story. That was a long story. And I can see there's still people liking it and commenting on it right now, just as we're speaking right now. So I would say that if you guys are looking at building a story, if you're looking at building a brand, a long brand, it's a long-term play. Even if it's a short-term play, you're looking to build an e-com brand and sell it. The story is going to be so damn important to do that, because you're going to be able to build in the interest. You're going to build up the interest in what you're doing and the products and services that you have. And of course, your e-com products that you've got. And that's a really important, integral part of building a business and a brand.
Absolutely, man. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. I know we're getting close to the end here, but this has been awesome. There's been some incredible tips shared, and thank you so much for sharing everything you've shared.
Absolutely.
We're about to go into kind of the bonus round. So this is a fun little
let's go.
To the episode. So yeah, here's the kicker. So each of these questions that I ask you, you have to answer with only one word.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So what caused your biggest e-com success to date?
With one word?
Yep. I told you this was the kicker. This is the challenge.
Grit.
Ooh, like it. Okay. What advice do you have for other e-com business owners?
Endure.
Nice. Okay. How would you describe yourself?
Savage.
Nice.
That's an easier one.
And then what do you see in your future?
Longevity.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, that's going to happen. We're all going to live to like 120, 150. I mean,
one day,
biotech advancements happening, we're all going to have that opportunity. As soon as I can, I'm going to plug a chip into my brain, access the internet. As soon as I can, I'm going to upload my brain into AI so I can live forever. I'm going to, do, CRISPR. I'm going to get like gene therapy done and stem cells, and, I'll stay young forever.
An exciting brand that I'm working with right now, e-com brand, is actually a partnership with Grant Cardone and Streamline Medical Group, and they're putting out these supplements. It's called the 10X Health System. And it's really some incredible advancements that they've made in medicine lately. And And, outside of, I mean, if you think about it, it wasn't that long ago, doing B12 shots and stuff was like, oh my God, it was crazy. Now it's like a standard practice, right?
Yeah, right.
But they have this, the 10X health system that's going to be coming out pretty soon. We actually just finished the fulfillment integration for that today. So they're literally on the cusp of releasing this product. But Grant Cardone has been a client of theirs for some time. And that's why he looks so good at 61 years old, by the way. I mean, have you seen Grant? He looks amazing.
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen him in person, but I've definitely seen his stuff. And
I just went to
you went to
the
10X, right?
Yeah, exactly. I just went to 10X GrowthCon. It was incredible. They slay it out there, but the advancements in medicine, that's one of the brands I'm really excited to work with. I think probably the most potential of all the e-com brands I'm working with right now, just because I know what that's going to do to that supplement space. It's not just like a medical, like go down to GNC and buy some supplements. Like this is like legitimate, like life-changing stuff. Going through it myself, I just got my blood labs done, and it's crazy to see how not in shape I was, not just physically, but like my blood, my red blood cell count, even my libido and my, testosterone and all these different things that were just all whack. Like
what test was this?
Oh, I'll hook you up, but there's a blood test that you can take, and they'll give you a deal. I think it's like $395. It's usually like if you went to LabCorp, it's like $1,300 to do this test, but It's like $395, and they will do 85 different like markers to find out like your red blood cell count and your testosterone and your everything from your, obviously down to your sugar and your insulin and your T3, T4s and your, like everything you could possibly imagine. And then they basically what this new supplement line is literally the fix. I mean, it's like prescription level fix based on your own blood type and and what's going on in your body. So it's basically custom supplement solution, which is what is exciting, because it's not just like, hey, I think I need vitamin D3 pills or whatever else. It's like, here's exactly what your body needs. Boom. There it is.
Nice.
Like
very specific.
So I think that's going to be a huge win. And the story for that's going to be easy too. And again, before you sell anything, guys, make sure you got the story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, how can people, follow you, learn from you, get to know more, and how can they even become a customer?
Absolutely. Just go to jeffjhunter.com. That's my website. You guys can check it out. If you guys want to learn more about social media and copywriting, I actually have a course called Social Copy Secrets, and you can check it out at savagemarketingacademy.com. If you go to savagemarketingacademy.com, you'll check it out. That's my tell-all on how to use social media to tell stories and more importantly, turn it into paychecks. Get people to actually buy your stuff.
Nice. So savagemarketingacademy.com and jeffjhunter.com.
That's it. That's me, guys.
Cool. Awesome. And how much is your program?
Well, it's $1,000, but I promised you that I would give you a discount for all of your members. So I made a coupon code SAVAGE500. So if you type the word SAVAGE500 at the checkout, there's a coupon code box. It'll take $500 off, so you guys can get into it for $497.
That's a good deal. Wow. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. I'm definitely going to let people know in my audience and our email list and whatnot. And yeah, that's an incredible deal. And the thing is that copy is like so many business owners, not just e-com, but business owners, but especially e-com, they struggle with like copy and messaging. And, this is a shortcut to that. So, I definitely recommend that if you're watching this, you should definitely check that out. Go check out, savagemarketingacademy.com, check out more about the product and, take advantage of this opportunity, 50% off. It's huge. And Jeff knows this stuff. He's been around the block for, quite some time. He's helped 7-8 figure businesses with his services through his company. He's one of the best at what he does. So, you definitely need to check out savagemarketingacademy.com. Thanks, Jeff, for being on the show, man. Truly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.